it's back to saying 2. That's weird. Why does it say... Oh, there that goes. Okay. That was really weird. It was freaking me out for a second. Okay. You got some? All right. Awesome. Okay. Let's see what this delay looks like. Oh. Okay, that's annoying. Hello and welcome. This is Kevin, also known as AWOL, and we got lots going on here today. We have a whole new project to start. Before I get too far into it, though, I want to remind everybody we're still doing the secret word game. It has been this thing forever, it seems. All you got to do is chat, and that little chat robot over there, yeah, when you say the magic word, he's going to confirm it, and obviously that means spelling counts. And that's kind of a thing. Let's see what else we got going on. Update on pillow number 2. I have gotten beyond the halfway point to it, and it is starting to look like something pretty amazing, I think. The first one is already a pillow. I don't know if you've seen this over on my TikTok or anywhere else, but it is already a pillow on the couch, and I think it's kind of amazing. And before we go any further, I do want to, it's my favorite segment. Here we go. Okay, it's time for one of my favorite segments where we find out who actually gets to win the bracelet of the month from my Patreon supporters. So I'm going to spin the wheel and see who our lucky winner is. And it's Riley. All right. Yay. And now we spin to see which bracelet it will be. And round and round it goes. Cool. It's kind of gray and blue. It's kind of awesome. All right. Well, then we have a winner. We have the bracelet. All we got to do is get that sent out. Okay. So a neat side note about that bracelet, that the blue and gray, is that was from the video where I explained how to do a candy stripe really super flat. So it's actually from one of my videos. I think it's really neat. I think that's pretty cool. Okay, so new project. This is, let's see, wait, I have images. Where is the 3? So you can see on the right hand side, that is the cord that my wife made up, and then those are, you can see the loops and stuff. So this is going to be a bag. I made it this one, instead of 4 loops, it's going to be 5 loops. See, there's Mindy. Hello. This is going to have 5 loops, which is going to make it actually a little bit bigger than some of the other small bags I've made in the past. And oh, I got a fingerprint right in the middle of my glasses. Sorry about that. Hang on, give me a second. But yeah, it's the first live stream of the month, so we have prizes for my Patreon supporters, which, by the way, I mean, if you want to get involved in trying to help support the channel, Patreon's really nice and easy. It's as low as like $5 to help keep the channel going, help to keep the supplies and stuff. So this project, I got a little bit started with it. There is 12 strands on either side. They're doubled up, so, but just ignore that. 12 strands either side. I'm going to stick with the theme that what I've been doing here lately, which is the dovetail. And I've taken this color all the way to the outside. So I started with the darkest and then went from the light to dark going down it. So I'm going to keep doing the dovetail here in this project. It is going to cycle through the colors like that the first pillow did. And well, you'll kind of see it as it kind of progresses along here. So how is everybody doing? Sorry, I felt like there was just a ton of things to get out there. It's been a little while since I've done a live stream, and I just really excited to be back. We were off last week because my computer was in for repairs. It had faulty fans, which I think it's the fan on the video card that went out on it, but it looks like they replaced more than just that one, because one of the fans on the front used to have a funny wobble to it that it doesn't have that anymore. So it's nice. It was covered by warranty. Had me sweating bullets for days. I didn't have a computer all weekend. It was terrible, but it's all back to normal now. Oh, Maris is here. Hello. And Rainbow. That's awesome. I'm glad you guys are here, and I'm glad to be back. So, so anyways, why the darkest one first? Typically on these, I haven't done the darkest one as my first color. Well, I figure for this bag, it's going to be nicer if the lighter color is what sort of joins everything together. So putting the dark one first kind of gets that kind of thing up in closer to like where the strap is going to join with the loop and everything. And then the next one down will be the lightest. And that's what's going to join all of the segments together. So I think it's going to give it an interesting, a little bit different kind of look to the whole overall bag. So I'm kind of excited about that. And these colors, well, the two darkest ones are really, really close to each other. One's sort of a brown. This one here is sort of a brown. And the other color is sort of a charcoal gray. So yeah. Now the colors are very kind of earth toned and stuff. I think this might have been something I had set aside for a project of some kind, and then forgot what the project was. And then while I was thinking of like what would be something fun to do with the live stream, I'm like, you know what? This could be pretty cool. So we're kind of running with that. I had considered doing the pillow number 2, but I've kind of felt like we did that last video, and like at least having a couple different projects means I could kind of jump back and forth maybe, or maybe I just do this one and then give you guys updates on the pillow. I'm not sure. We'll see what the audience says. If people prefer learning how to do a bag, then so be it. I'm okay with that. So oh, I had like so much to say in the beginning, and suddenly I'm like, I don't know what to say. But you can see the first diamond is almost done. 2 more knots. Oh, so we're going to do something a little bit different here. So normally what I would do is when it comes to the diamonds and doing a bag, I would join them at that darkest gray across the thing. But Um, it's kind of a little bit difficult because of I won't have this whole diamond here complete. So we're going to actually join it at one knot down, which doesn't really hurt anything. I don't think most people would notice, but since I'm explaining and doing this with you guys, you'll actually see how that works. So it's as if there's like um, two bracelets side by side here with just a really elongated diamond start. Normally, if I was going to do this, I would have two starts if I was going to make this a double wide bracelet. But this way works as well. And I think for the bag, it really goes well for a couple reasons. One, it makes it so that way there's less loops in the bag, and makes the how it opens up and stuff just a little bit easier. So that's kind of cool. Oh, it also makes the loops thicker, and if you're going to have any kind of weight, like let's say if somebody uses this as a medicine bag, put different gemstones and stuff in there, having it be a thicker loop means that it can support more weight, or at least hold, have that weight in there for a long time without having any kind of snags or hangups. So that's kind of nice. Something to take into consideration if you're going to make a bag yourself is things like, is it likely to have a lot of weight in it? If you're making something just to hold your phone, you can go with like much smaller loops. It's not that phones aren't that heavy, but a medicine bag or something that's going to hold change, that kind of stuff, those can get considerably more weight in it. So what? Oh, I finally fixed that thing. Yeah. My Inspire light wasn't on. Well, I think it would have to be a pretty sizable bag in that case. Uh, so now in this instance, we have the lightest one is going all the way to the outside. And what will happen is, like I was saying before, normally I would kind of stop and make sure that this dark gray didn't get knotted to or whatever. But I'm going to go ahead and go all the way to the edge, and it'll be the light color that joins this and to the next loop, which I got one started just as far as where I was when I started this thing, which I only just started here today. Basically, right before doing the video, I just kind of wanted to have a look at the colors and see how this was going to go, and realize that some of the colors are kind of really close to each other, and that maybe it made sense to take my time and put them in the right sequence, so that way I didn't start my video with a lot of swearing or something, because yeah, I might have done a little bit of that while I was getting things together. So it's a good thing I kind of prepped the job a little. like I said, there'll be 5 of these loops. So there's what, 12 strands on each side. That's 24. 24 times 5. 120 strands for this bag, which is, compared to the other ones, I mean, that's a good 20 some odd strings more. I don't know how much bigger around that makes it, but it'll be bigger. It'll be noticeable. I have a friend who is asking me about medicine bags here recently, so I'm kind of hoping that she will see this one and say, heck yeah, that's the one I want right there. So that would be good. Mind you, you can always go over to the website, akaawol.com, and you can check out the shop over there, because the shop has lots and lots of cool stuff, including bags and bracelets with little clapper bells on it, and just a bunch of cool stuff. That's an alternative way of helping to support the channel. Patreon's still pretty cool though. Oh, and if you haven't seen it on Patreon, the collaboration with me and Aries Art Northwest has been posted over there, so that's pretty cool. Something you guys might have missed because it was a really weird hour. I had to be up, I had to be on the call at 7 a.m. And if you watch the video, you might notice that part of my problem with getting up at that hour is that I needed a lot of coffee. So I think I had at least 2 or 3 cups of hot coffee and a bit of some cold brew. And yeah, I was vibrating. I was, oh man, I was vibing for sure. So yeah, that was the thing. Yeah, you'll even see our friend Helena in there, who um, she she felt compelled to um, tell them a little bit about why she follows my channel on Patreon. So that was incredibly flattering. Yeah, my favorite moment in there was when Mindy was, I was doing a tutorial on a bracelet that has sort of a Celtic-ish look, kind of a woven look to it. And I was explaining how, basically by creating a dark, light, dark, and then a background color, how you could create this woven thing, and how I was, creating ribbons essentially and going through it. And then at some point in there, there was this aha moment for her when it suddenly, the pattern became really evident. And oh, there it is. That's why. So that was pretty neat. I like, suddenly realized at that point maybe I didn't exactly explain it well enough or something, because the 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 ideas should have been there long before I got that far into the pattern. But that was like my favorite moment in the whole video, was the whole, oh, I see what it is now. That's so cool. And I'm like, yeah. So this is a really obvious, and like if you hadn't guessed where this was going, you can see the dovetail in it now. And it's going to cycle through the colors. I'm not sure quite how long it's going to be. I think when it comes to bags, I personally kind of like to um, work in it by proportions. So once all of these segments are all joined together, and I get an idea of like how big a round it is, um, kind of goes into how I judge like how long it should be, you know. So that's there's room for you know how how long it can be. Like it can be as long as a regular bracelet, I guess, right? But yeah, seeing how wide it is around or whatever kind of will play into that. Oh, tomorrow is patron hangout day. So that's going to be fun. Neat thing too is my father-in-law's helper is going to be out for the day. So there's a chance that I might end up working on this a bit because this project's going to be a little bit easier to bring out into the living room to work on. So that way I can be a little bit closer at hand in case he has any needs. So yeah, might might be able to see how much progress is made before next week's video. I suspect this one should go pretty quickly. I mean, look, we're like what, 20 minutes in and I'm already onto the third diamond. That's not bad. Might even have to break out another whole segment after these two get done. So maybe that whole avoiding the swearing, eh, maybe maybe we end up with that after all. Well, that's okay, Rainbow. If you can't, you can't. It's understandable. So I think I may have overdone it on the working out here. Um, so I did a workout on Wednesday, and then again I tried like on Wednesday I really was pushing it. I was really trying to get myself to go to the point of exhaustion, and then when Friday came along, I'm like, okay, so I had a day off. Even though I'm a bit sore, I should still try, and I didn't quite give it as much as I did on Wednesday, but I still tried. And on the like sort of the back of my arm, kind of near the elbow, though, it still really hurts. So even just doing this, I'm actually in pain. So I'm not sure what I've done or how badly I've overdone it, but I'm definitely feeling it, and I'm definitely um, it's definitely affecting me here. So yeah, let me grab a drink. And no, in case you could hear that cracking, it's not a beer. So I just noticed the Rainbow said that she wished we were in the same time zone. Interesting fact, China is all one time zone, and I've often wondered what would happen if the rest of the world decided, you know what, cool, let's just do that, and the whole world ran off of one time zone. We could still have, the 9 to 5, except for it would be, depending on where you were in the world, it might be, you know, 2 a.m. to something else to be your daytime. But at least the whole world would be like using one set clock. Like, I don't know where they'd put the noon being the sun at the highest point, but they literally could do something like that. If China can have all one time zone across such a big country, then yeah, it totally could work. So yeah, like I really like this kind of the rusty colors that are in this. This is, I can see where you say autumn or earth tones. This is fun. And since I can't go this one down all the way across the lightest color that'll be coming in from the side over here and from the side over here, I'm going to go ahead and set this aside. And so just off to the side here. And grab the next one. Like I said, I kind of mildly prepped it before the video started. I was getting excited. What can I say? I'm kind of got a little ambitious. Hey, my new car. Hey, John. John made it here too. Hello. Wow, how much was the booth, John? Hello, minute. Oops. Didn't mean to bump the mic there, sorry. Oh, wait, I didn't. You guys never remind me about the background. So this one, basically the same as the last one. And once these are together, I can join the two. Again, this is a really, really simple pattern. A dovetail is perhaps one of the first patterns I think most people who kind of do patterns on their own without using the various web sources or whatever. I think that the dovetail is like one of the first ones that becomes really obvious because it only uses the two knots, so you're either going left or going to the right, that's it. The way that the strings kind of naturally kind of cycle through, there's a whole lot of reasons why I just think this is one of the most beginner type patterns. And mind you, getting it double wide and then triple and beyond does add, to the skill factor. I still say that even doing a bag like this is intermediate at best. This is not advanced stuff here. If you just watch the video and watch, how I'm doing out the knots, why I'm stopping, where I'm stopping, because I'm stopping just before the same color that is the outside of the box. All right, so using that, it's real simple to see where it's going and what to do. So yeah. It is double flossed. This is all doubled up. There's 12 strands. And going into I say 12. 12 going into the loop, right? So that'd be 24 strands. But then it is double. All of the strings are in fact doubled. But it's a smaller bag. I could literally have used a thicker string like what you like to do, John. The thicker yarnish kind. Because there will be no adding string on this. There's a lot of adding string on this project over here. I'm already on the 4th color, and just every time I add string to that, I'm using 16 skeins. So yeah, it's using it uses so much floss. If younger me, 18-year-old me, could see like the sheer numbers of embroidery floss I'm going through, I would be like, oh my gosh, just unbelievable. Because back when I was 18, I was going to a plasma center, which is kind of like a blood bank that pays you to give blood, and I was using that money to go right next, not quite next door, but like the door after that was a Kmart where I used to be able to get my embroidery floss from. And yeah, then I'd go make some bracelets and try to sell the bracelets, and yeah, pretty crazy stuff. Oh, and Patreon Hangout is tomorrow. So that's going to be 10 p.m. Singapore time. So basically the same time that this thing started, it will be that time tomorrow. So yeah, you don't want to miss that. That's going to be a lot of fun. Like I said, I should have more of these little diamondy things done beforehand. I should. I don't know. We'll see. I'm supposed to meet a friend in the afternoon, and I know that friend pretty well as to think there may be some beers involved. So that might impair some of the whole how much I get accomplished. We'll see. Either that or we're going to end up with a very funny me at night if, I can't drink all day. That's not possible. We'll see what happens. Yes, I do typically have a bit of humor, but, I'll add alcohol and eat. Yeah, so I'm supposed to meet this guy at like 1:30 in the afternoon, which would be like right after lunch. And drinking beers that early, I can't imagine like if I was drinking beers from 1:30 in the afternoon all the way up until 10 o'clock at night. I would, and mind you, over here the beers are the big ones, the like 22 ounces. So yeah, like 2 of those, and I'm pretty much, you know, I'm saying and doing silly things at that point. It's this bracelet right here. I wear it all the time. And oddly enough, there seems to be a competition between my 2 bracelets over who's trying to be on top. Like this one will either be on top of the other. Mine, this one, the one I made, doesn't seem to try to get into this competition at all. I don't know what the heck it is, but this bracelet tries to like totally cover the other one. It's really weird. Just a funny observation. Like it's right now, yeah. Minute Crafts bracelet is completely buried. It's just funny. Yeah, so biggest, widest on top. Notice how mine just does not seem to get up in the fray of that. Like it just doesn't happen. Like my bracelet's like, I'm good. You guys battle it out. I'll just hang back here. Just want to remind you guys, there is still the merch shop, which is other than my akaawol.com. This is, can you hit shop in the thing? It should come up with a link. Anyways, there's t-shirts and stuff. There's mouse pads. There's all kinds of cool stuff over there. I've got the sweatshirt, which I can tell you is super soft and super comfy. The t-shirt fits me awesome. I love it. I was actually going to wear it today, but then it was really hot out today, so I'm in a tank top. What else? Oh, the mouse pads. Yeah, so I have a giant mouse pad, which I'm kind of thinking that as soon as this felt that I have on my desk wears out, that it's going down instead. Hey, why is the bot not doing his job? That's not good. That's so weird. Every so often, Stream Elements kind of drops the ball there. Yeah, I think so too. I think the double ones tend to look nicer, and that's essentially what this is per each loop. And like I was saying earlier, this is going to have 5 loops, which brings up the total of strands up to 120, which is a bit more than some of my other small bags have been. So It's going to be kind of interesting to see how much wider it is having a 5th loop on it instead of just 4. Yeah. Let's see if I can check something. Winds are on. It's really weird. It's really, really weird. So this is kind of chugging along. This is kind of not too bad. Let's see. Nope. See, the fact that Stream Elements is coming up with that link, it's, yeah, that's on a timer. It means that the merch one will come up here soon. I think there's like a 5-minute difference or something. But it's not responding, which makes me wonder. I have to start watching you guys closely to see if you say the magic word. It's so weird. I really think this one's going to be fun to see as the colors go cycling through. I think there's enough, like the two light ones are really pretty light, then the next two are sort of really kind of down the middle-ish. And then the last two are really nice and dark. So I think there's going to be an interesting pattern kind of that comes out of the whole thing, like what you see from a distance. I think it's going to turn out pretty cool. Mind you, I like the colors I choose because that's why I chose them. So it's kind of unfair to think that like I'm gonna hate this or something. It doesn't typically work that way. I do tend to like all of the things that I chose to work on because that's how I choose to work on it. But kind of checking this one out, this is pretty neat. So yeah, in case you're unclear about the whole 12 strings or whatever, yeah, so there's 6 colors and I go through the whole set twice over, and then it's 4 times if you're not counting it. Like for me, it's just 12 because there's a loop involved in it. So you got 12 going up and you'll have another 12 coming back down. But I get why people like to say that it's 24, because it's 24 sounds like you're doing something much bigger and way more impressive or whatever. But when I'm trying to set up to make a bracelet, like I'm more concerned, more thinking about how many strands do I have to have cut. That to me is the number that makes a little bit more sense. But I realize I'm the minority on that kind of way of counting, so it is what it is. Let's see, not even an hour in, and we nearly have 2 of these together. This is pretty good. I mean, by right, there's only 3 more, so kind of an encouraging notion. And like I said, my arms are sore, so if you're like on the fence about whether or not you can accomplish something this big, understand, like I'm getting this much done while in pain. So just imagine what you can do if you're feeling good and motivated and stuff. And again, this is a kind of pattern that is simple enough that you don't have to be so overly focused on or anything. This isn't something where I need a piece of paper and checking to make sure have I gone far enough or anything. It's the colors pretty much tell you when and where the things change off at. So This kind of thing that you could practice just at the bracelet level to start with. Get the pattern down, you liking it, try it so with some different colors, find your favorite. Yeah. And because it goes really quickly for bigger ones because you're really focused on a segment. You know, I mean, granted, I can see that like there are people who follow a pattern and just go always diagonally and do whatever the knot says. But if you work on this in segments, it really does go quickly. I mean, to me, segment knotting this is makes the most sense. And I get why people learned the other way because they were looking at patterns and they didn't understand that working in segments and stuff makes more sense than just following one row out. So yeah. Yeah, and like so basically I'll do these two, get these two anchored together, and then go and set that off to the side and then make another segment. Or I could put all 5 loops off, you know, until they're all done and then join them together, whichever. I think for today's video, I think we're going to show how to join it just because I can. Yay, Minute Craft made it back. So one of the things you missed was that take a look at my bracelets. Yeah, you see something wrong in this picture? Here, let me. Yeah. I think she saw me going for the button. For once, she actually like knew what was coming. Like that was. So basically, I have a dedicated keyboard that works to control all the different things. So I can hit this and that goes away. I can hit this one, it goes to just me. I can do all these different things, but if you know, I don't know. I think she kind of has learned like when I'm gonna probably like hit that button. So yeah, a little cringe. Yeah, that was one of the things that Patreon helped me to get a camera, so that way we could include Mandy in these streams as well. So that was really nice. Thank you, Patreon peoples. Make Mandy Cam possible. Not that she really likes the cam. Yeah, we've been getting a lot of rain here lately. That's been like a theme. got that stylish hairband going on, doesn't she? No, we had some pretty good storms here recently. Oh, it was the rainbow. Ah. Yeah, John, your area, I've seen you guys been hit with a lot of warm days there, but that'll soon be over. So I don't plan on doing too much of this. I was just thinking about that. Like tomorrow, I'll have a little bit of time or whatever, and I don't want to drag out the big pillow thing because I have to change too much floss in it. But I don't want to get too far ahead of this because I really think this is kind of a more fun project for the live streams. So I don't, getting the other loops prepped or whatever, that's kind of easy peasy because you've already seen obviously what it looked like for this part. But I'm going to try to not get too far ahead of myself with this one. Okay. So the clip that was holding the first one is also the clip that was holding my board up. So for a moment there, the whole thing almost came crashing down, which would not have been fun. So at this point, one of the key things I can say is keeping the two works really close to each other so that way that knot that actually joins the two kind of isn't being distorted or pulled out of shape or whatever. So you kind of want them like really right how they're supposed to be next to each other. If you look, you can see there's a little tiny gap where there could have been a knot from the two darker grays to get going together. But that would have meant that I'd had to have completed out this whole extra little row to make that happen. So that little gap really isn't that big of a deal in the overall greater scheme of things. Yeah, I think this might have been like inspired by like Arizona colors. Like I think that's may have been where that combination came from. I'm not sure what exactly sparked it off, but yeah, it is a little bit of a different combination. I like playing with colors. I like trying to come up with cool, interesting combinations. I think I would have liked there to be a bit more difference between the brown and the charcoal gray, but as it's kind of just laying here, it's not looking bad. Yeah, so these, it doesn't matter which one, forward, backward, it doesn't matter which one you use to join these things, if that's what you mean. That part doesn't matter. You just have to make sure that it's secured nice and tight. And then, so you can see, like, right, I haven't gone any further down with any of this pattern, but I don't like having it joined together by just one knot. So obviously I'm going to work on the next little segment right here in the middle, just to make sure that it's all, you know, good and solid joined. And oh, Helena made it. Hey. Hello. Yeah, so at this point, it's obviously joined, right? But it's in here, whatever, where like the more rows that I can get in accomplished, the more secure it is joined. When it's not, so most of the patterns when I'm joining it, like they're made to join it. Like there's a segment for joining the whole thing together. I'm trying to think if there's any examples where that wasn't true. There's been a couple, I guess, smaller bags and stuff where I got a little bit crazy with it, but I always tend to still just try to like have it like this, like have diamonds built out on either side, and then have an area to work on. And even if it's zigzaggy or if it's a little bit crazier in here, having a whole area to work on to make sure that it's going to be secured afterwards. But yeah. Oh, Attorney made it. Hi. No, you're not too late. Well, you missed, you know, the whole start to this thing, but you get to check out the bag I'm working on. It's kind of a small bag. It's going to be like the medicine bag type. Oh, that's sweet. Yeah, it seems like kind of a last Saturday was a bit of a bummer. I didn't have a computer at all. I was using my Google Home to listen to podcasts and stuff Otherwise, it'd been like way too quiet around here. But yeah, it was kind of. So, Minute Craft, did you manage to get some embroidery floss from over in Malaysia? Because I don't know if you realize this, but I seem to have come across a pile of string that I was not aware that I had. So I kind of have like everything that you saw plus kind of a trunk worth. So if you need more string, I've got some. Yeah, so I don't know if you ever the little pop-up things that happen on like the main big wide areas in the malls or whatever. There's we got one that's like it's like a bench that you lift the lid off of, and inside is all, you know, storage or whatever. Yeah, it's got a lot of floss in there. It's a bunch of bags, bunch of stuff. I found a bunch of whites and blacks, and there's bunches of stuff. So yeah, I have lots of string. But for everybody else, JB is just across the border into Malaysia, so the exchange rate is very favorable to Singaporeans. We can often get things over there a lot cheaper than here, so that's kind of nice. Yeah, we're doing good. I could stand for a day of going off to the beach. Except for the whole rainy season thing, kind of, you know, it can seem all nice and bright one minute, next thing you know, pouring rain. My luck, I get down there, kind of takes the fun out of it. Not bad. Yeah, I want to go down to like East Coast Park and bring my skateboard and play around there. The US Open, my wife is a tennis fanatic. Yeah, but John, I'm getting floss at like 10 cents a skein. So I think I win. Even with your bigger balls or whatever, I still think that per yard or per meter or whatever, I still think mine comes out better. Especially with the number of colors I have to choose from. String wars. I can somehow see that being on the Learning Channel. You know, they always have those weird pawn shops and all that kind of stuff. Well, let's see, what do we have here? We've got a whole trunk full of floss. Well, that's going to be worth something. I wonder if you can get white where it hasn't been treated. Like, I know that like most of the time when you're dyeing stuff, like if you're gonna like tie-dye a t-shirt or whatever, there's like a chemical agent that you have to use on the shirt first that strips away its anti-staining materials of whatever off of it, and then you dye it, and then you solidify the dye afterwards with something that prevents it from staining. So yeah. String Wars? Oh, Pawn Stars, yes. Yes. So can you imagine like a string-based one of that? Yeah. All right. 2 segments joined about as far as I can. I could do some of this diamond here and some of this diamond here, but without having the whites that come down, they would be kind of off-sided, and then it kind of makes it weird. So let's just chuck these guys. I'm losing the board. Off to the side. Well, you can't see them. There we go. Chuck them off to the side and get into the airplane trolley. I mentioned this earlier. Let's see, is it image 3? This is the kumi that my wife did, and then she already made the strap and stuff for this. So yeah, in between watching tennis, she can play with string pretty well, and I think it came out amazing. So yeah, I mean, when you look at these loops, right, just so cool. I did. This is gonna be like a medicine bag, just a small little bag. Nothing crazy. I'm not trying to, you know, do it. It's gonna be about 120 strings around. So not only did I mention that, you'll never guess what else I managed to toss out there. I tossed out that the secret word game is still on, and that, you know, we're still looking for a winner for this. So, yeah. I actually remembered it without being prompted. And I have remembered that tomorrow is the patron hangout. Yeah. Yeah, the chord that she made for this is absolutely stunning. I am blown away. Why does it have to always be so finicky? One, two, three, four, five, six. It's like I was saying before, this is a little bit more daunting. The colors, some of them are really, really close. Not the worst. Some of the real fades and stuff are a lot more difficult per se. But so I don't know if it's my ADHD or some part of my analytical brain, but I'm not understanding the question. Making the triangle parts the same color. I'm my brain is just not allowing me to understand what that means. Like it's all the words are words I can read. I just don't understand. Make the triangle starts for all the same color. You mean like a monotone, like part of a bracelet? Like just make it all? Oh, so like the whole bag is just one color? Okay. Yeah, my brain just totally froze up there. There you should have seen a little, like the little wheel turning. Yeah, you might be surprised. I don't actually watch bracelet videos. I got this weird thing about like I don't want people going like, oh well, you know, it's obvious that Kevin watches such and such because, you know, blah blah blah. Yeah. Oh man, somebody recently made a question about one of the tutorials I had done, and it's long ago enough that it had my old intro, which, you know, now the whole intro has the bracelets coming up and then the bags and all that kind of cool stuff. It had my old intro, and I was like, oh my god, so weird. And then like hearing my own voice, so like, oh my god, this is like horrible. Oh. I've played a little bit with something like that before. I don't know. Right. Oh, the whole board got shifted. Aha. Been a while since I've seen somebody use the term y'all, which just takes me to bad places. As an American, just, the people who say y'all just bad, bad, bad. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I could kind of look into playing around with the idea, and maybe it could be a thing. I don't know. I think just by looking at the picture, I can kind of get a gist of how it's done. And I can't imagine you actually being much of a lazy typer. For one, you can totally spell and your grammar is like on point. I just don't. It just seems like a odd thing. Like if I could spell, I would type way more frequently. I just suffer from that American education. I, I somehow pictured that in a more literal sense, and I have to admit, like that became very comical for me. Your whole keyboard just starts keys falling off onto the floor and shit. Ah, god damn! I gotta get that fixed before tomorrow. Ah. Yeah, no? So cool. Yeah, no? one of the things you can't see off camera is this is the last string, and I'm using a clip just to kind of hold it off to the side. It helps, just makes this whole getting them in the right sequence or whatever just a bit easier. It's not perfect, but it's easier, and I'll take an easier path every time if possible. Yeah, multiple clips are amazing, and I can tell you, like, I have a whole huge assortment of clips, and I have needed them for various tasks. When you start to get into massive projects and stuff, having enough clips really can be a heck of a game changer. When I did the 144 color bag, I had clipped the sequence of the leftover floss in Ziploc baggies to a ruler I have. I have a 1.5 meter long ruler, and in the bag, on that particular bag, to keep track where the beginning point was, I started out with the white to gray fade, and that was 0.1, and then everything that came after that was like in sequence, so I could count from that one point and figure out which colors were when the strings ran out, and they all were kept in sequence on this huge ass ruler, using just a bunch of clips. So yeah, there's so many more uses than just holding the strings out of your way. There's like holding the bags of floss that'll be your replacement stuff. It's, yeah. I use Grammarly, but I hate it half the time because, like, there's a certain way that I talk, and Grammarly does not like that, and they want to, I don't know, like, some of the things that they're like, no, this is whatever, add the word this to, no, that's not right. That's not how I sound. There's a fury of typing going on behind me, and she's on a tablet, like, docking pad, not like a regular keyboard, and it's like it's, yeah, those little fingers are quick. one of many. Should I start telling dad jokes? See if we can't get some eye rolls. Do you know when a joke becomes a dad joke? When it becomes apparent. It's Tony. Hello. Hopefully I'm just out of poking range. Well, Tony, you missed the first part where I put this all together. I'm working on another segment that I can join. Help, help. She's left her box. She left her box. Go back to your box. So Tony, I don't know if you know this, but lately here I've been kind of playing with the whole dovetail pattern. So earlier I was showing off this, which is my second pillow that I'm just over halfway done with that one now. And then this was the first pillow. This was, again, the dovetail. I did one little row upside down and it makes it look like there's just like such a big difference or big to do with it. So yeah, it's kind of neat. Thank you. So now I'm going to make a really small bag, like a medicine bag, something you can like hang around your neck. And so the plan is 120 strings. Yeah, no, I totally plan on showing how to do it. I'm going to do an easy one. It's just going to be 5 diamonds that get knotted together. So yeah, something real simple, keeping it real nice and easy. I really want to try to inspire some of the people who are intimidated with the notion of creating bags to take a look at something like this and be like, oh, I could do that. But yeah, so that the aim is that all the main key points of making this whole bag are going to be done for the, you know, the audience. So that way, yeah, it'll all be here on YouTube. Somebody can actually learn how to make one of these. I think I'm just gonna stick with this. Like I'll work on the pillow project during the week and save this project for mostly for the live streams. Yeah, this one, honestly, you could do this. You'll see. Absolutely 100% believe you can do this one. See, I hate the fact that that word can be either minute or minute. That just bothers me. Yeah, Helena, I agree 100%. Once you have the pattern in mind, like, oh, I think I really want to play with this pattern, then suddenly it's like, ooh, but what kind of colors is it going to be? And that can be, yeah. And for me, like I have like a ton of string here, but in order to do a bag of this size, I have to then like figure out like, well, how many strings is each color going to be? Like how many actual strands do I need? So then I can figure out like how many skeins is that, and yeah, I don't have like a little store I can go run off to and pick up extra string in case, you know, I like a color but I don't have enough of it or something. Well, that's what I was saying earlier. Like, honestly, let's say you were going to make a bag like this. Try practicing a few rounds of dovetails. Pick out your colors, pick out, you know, whichever ones that you particularly like, that you think you might like, and make it a bracelet. Then, if you happen to come across a bracelet that you're like, oh yeah, that's the one, then do it. That's the, you know, that's how you can tell. Like, you do it. Bracelets are like swatches of colors and patterns and stuff, and then when you find one you dig on it, then you go big. Yeah, see, Elena's got the right idea. Yeah, if you've got a pattern that you know like so well that you don't have to look at the paper or whatever, those are the patterns that you want to use for a bag. It's something that you're comfortable with, you know. That's really key. If it's something that's so tedious or whatever, like that was one of the problems with the big project, was like it was just so crazy and having to look at patterns all the time for like the first, I don't know, quarter of the thing, half the thing. Oh, I never showed you this. Hang on, which one is it? This. Check this out. Have a new thing to be able to show it's on the wall, and then zoom in and see the cool pattern. How cool is that? I just put that together this week, so I'm pretty pleased. Yeah, I think I think you're just overthinking it. It's, if you really like it in a bracelet form, you know, like Rainbow said, you know, you can make it double wide or whatever, depending on the bracelet. I mean, obviously well, if you have to be able to make it at least double wide if you're gonna go for a bag, because that's part of the whole how it becomes bigger. Um, but you're overthinking the whole thing, like that you're gonna hate it. I don't imagine that you're doing a whole lot of bracelets that you end up hating by the time you're done with them. And like I said, this is seriously, the dovetail is one of the more beginner friendly patterns there is out there. So like this one would be really easy to do. The snowflake looking one is obviously something that you guys do, you know. Card holder's easy, that's really small. So with this string, I can make a bracelet like half this size, right? So like 6 colors, so 12 strands. If I make that, like if I want to like make multiple colors and make it look like several bracelets together, I just need 3, 6, 8 of those to make something that can actually carry cards and money and stuff in it. Like it's like a little thing you can hang around your neck that you can use for all that kind of stuff. Like that's pretty cool. What's the snowflake one? I don't know how to look that up. Rainbow, do you have one that you could send me so I can use my phone to the snowflake looking bracelet? It's like this pattern that I swear it looks, I think everybody's done it like 100 times over. I've not done it. No reason why not to have. But yeah, in my mind, this pattern is like that might be the name for it. Do you think? Hang on. I know Rainbow Haze has made a number of these things. Starburst kind of makes sense. Like it kind of. I know that like come Christmas time, everybody does this thing in greens and reds because it's Christmassy, or they do it in blues and stuff. Oh, there we go. Okay, whoa. Go back to. Got another photo. Oh, that's different. That would look really cool as a bag. So this is what Minute Craft just sent me. That's different. That's totally not the same. But this one, like in this particular set of colors, does not look Christmassy or quite the snowflake-ish kind, but it's this pattern with the right colors that totally becomes like ornaments. Yeah. So that kind of stuff. Those would make great bags, you know? Yeah. And people wonder why I don't type anything. No, I'm just poorly educated. And I'm pretty sure that's not what I have in there, but I don't know. You ever try telling somebody your name though, and then have them say, no, that's not right? I have literally had an argument with people at the hospital telling me that I didn't know how to say my own name. Well, this creature does seem to like grass. Blimey, look at it go now. Well, guys, I just realized it is now midnight, and I've got to be up early to deal with a father-in-law who is not going to be having a good day because his helper will be out. So I think we got to call it a night here. Yeah, this went by pretty quickly, and kind of shocked it about how much I actually got accomplished. So that's kind of good. I'll be back again next week with more of this. I'll do a little bit of work here on it tomorrow, I think, just because it'll give me something to do. But yeah, will be a lot more of this come next week. Yeah, Minute, you made it here to the end, so yeah, kudos. Before I go, I do want to thank all my Patreon supporters for making this possible. You guys be surprised how just a little bit goes a long ways in helping me to afford the string and the stuff that goes into making this stuff happen. So thank you very much. I appreciate it. And I will be back again next week, same time. And yeah, hopefully you guys will be here. It's been a lot of fun. All right. So as always, don't get your strings in a bunch.